2024 is packed with a ton of amazing releases, ranging from action-adventure to horror to racing and much more. And with this feature, we'll be taking a look at some of the best horror games releasing in 2024 and beyond that are worth keeping an eye out for. State of Decay 3. Undead Labs has been hard at work on the next entry in the State of Decay franchise, and we haven't seen much of the game except a short cinematic trailer that just gives brief hints about what to expect. It's obviously going to be a brutal survival game where players will be clearing out waves upon waves of zombies with scant resources, and fans are here for it. It's being developed using Unreal Engine 5 as well, so fans can be sure that the game will be a looker. It'll be released for Xbox Series and PC sometime in the future. Little Nightmares 3. Little Nightmares 2 is one of the best horror games of recent memory thanks to its excellent jump scares and consistently ominous atmosphere. Little Nightmares 3 is looking to knock those strengths up to 11 with an even bigger atmosphere, gargantuan enemies waiting to maul you at every turn, and a wide variety of cryptic environments housing these threats. It's set to release sometime this year for Xbox Series, Xbox One, PS4, 5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Echoes of the Living. Currently in development at Moonglint, Echoes of the Living feels like the perfect homage to the classic Resident Evil games, complete with an isometric perspective and tank-style controls. It's a brutal horror game where players will have to go for long stretches with little to no resources, solve brain-tackling puzzles, and engage in boss fights. If Echoes of the Living manages to nail the element of nostalgia while avoiding the inherent frustrations with the previous designs, Echoes of the Living could turn out to be a big hit. It's set to release sometime in Q1 of 2024 for PC. Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl. The Stalker series is making a return with Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl, an ambitious post-apocalyptic sequel that seems to have a great understanding of what made the originals so fun in the first place. Everything from the gameplay to the atmosphere and the graphics are looking really promising, and we can't wait to dive into the exclusion zone once again and scour every inch of this carefully curated map. It's set to release sometime in Q1 2024 for the Xbox Series and PC. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando is a game that takes inspiration from a bunch of action horror films of the 80s and uses those elements to craft a thrilling co-op experience. Little is known about the game at the moment, but the cinematic trailer has given some hints, including, but not limited to, large groups of enemies and vehicular combat being in the game, among others. Toxic Commando doesn't have a release date yet, but it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for this year. Hideo Kojima OD. A collaboration between Xbox Game Studios and Kojima Productions, OD is being touted as the video game auteur's most experimental game to date. And that's saying something, since Death Stranding in itself was a game that went against the current gaming trends and open-world conventions. The game's announcement trailer was about as cryptic as you would expect, with actors muttering out seemingly random words that don't make any sense. OD will also be utilizing Xbox's cloud technology to power its mechanics, and we can't wait to learn more about the game itself. It's set to release sometime in the near future for Xbox Series and PC. Slither Head. Slither Head is the latest game from Silent Hill creator Keiichiro Toyama, and the game revolves around the player trying to fend off against a host of deadly parasites. The gameplay showcases the protagonist using melee and ranged weapons along with some magical elements, which seems to make for a fresh gameplay experience. Slither Head will be releasing for Xbox Series and PS5 sometime in the near future. Blight Survival. Blight Survival thrusts players into a brutal medieval setting and tasks them to slaughter waves upon waves of undead enemy soldiers with nothing but primal weapons like swords and shields. It looks really beautiful, with realistic environments and smooth animations accompanying each moment of the gameplay, and the added benefit of experiencing it all with a friend through co-op also makes it an even sweeter deal. Blight Survival will be released for PC at some point in the future. Still Wakes the Deep. Set against the backdrop of an ever-mysterious sea, Still Wakes the Deep tells the story of a sailor trying to find his crew, all while he comes to grips with the many paranormal activities going on around him. It looks like a highly atmospheric game that pays a ton of attention to its visuals and audio design. And the developer The Chinese Room is known for its work on games like Amnesia, so there's a good chance that it might just be great. Paranormal Tales. Digital Cyber Cherry's Paranormal Tales is all about getting through, well, paranormal tales experienced by a bunch of survivors in different places. The game is presented in a body cam perspective with different types of filters like a fisheye lens, a digital camera, or a phone camera, which combined with the myriad different settings should make for a consistently entertaining experience. Paranormal Tales is being built using Unreal Engine 5, and it does not have a release date at the moment. Tormented Souls 2. Tormented Souls 2 is currently in development at developer Dual Effect, and it looks to be a worthy sequel to the original. The gameplay here revolves around carefully plotting your way through cramped corridors, solving puzzles, and overcoming tough obstacles, which remains fun despite its familiar nature. Between this and tank controls reminiscent of the original Resident Evil games, Tormented Souls should be a rather unique game that sounds really promising. Silent Hill 2 Remake. Silent Hill 2 is one of the most revered survival horror games of all time, and a lot of that could be attributed to the amazing atmosphere and the constantly twisting story about the town of Silent Hill. Bloober Team is hard at work on a full-fledged remake that not only brings the game's visuals up to a modern standard, but also changes the gameplay in significant ways to better serve a modern audience. Silent Hill F. Set against the backdrop of an unnamed Japanese town, Silent Hill F is one of the more interesting projects from the array of Silent Hill announcements. The trailer doesn't show much information about the game, but we have seen some wonderfully ominous atmosphere, a schoolgirl holding a metal pipe, and all kinds of weird imagery that has us excited for what's in store. Silent Hill Townfall. Yet another Silent Hill project in the works, Silent Hill Townfall, is developer No Code's take on this legendary horror franchise. The announcement trailer hints at the story revolving around the protagonist being trapped in a hellish nightmare as a punishment for his evil deeds, but it's too vague and disjointed to make any concrete conclusions from what we know. Hopefully Konami will shed some light on the game in the coming months. Currently, Silent Hill Townfall doesn't have confirmed platforms or a release date. Killing Floor 3. Much like prior entries in the franchise, Killing Floor 3 is all about shooting your way through hordes of different zombie types, along with a group of friends. Killing Floor 3 thrusts players into a futuristic setting, with high-tech weaponry and bioengineered monsters, so returning fans can expect plenty of new features and mechanics jumping into this game. The game will be released for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series sometime in the near future. The casting of Frank Stone. Supermassive Games is known for its signature brand of narrative-based horror, and the developer is currently hard at work on its next project, The Casting of Frank Stone. The game is set in the Dead by Daylight universe, and the story follows a group of young friends facing the horrifying mystery of Frank Stone and his deadly legacy. It's obviously a story where you make critical decisions at every turn, which dictates the ultimate outcome. So it's not uncharted territory for the developer, but it's definitely worth a look. Ill. Currently in development at Clout Games, Ill is an ambitious survival horror game that's being built using Unreal Engine 5. Featuring stunning visuals and superb-looking gameplay, Ill seems to be punching well above its weight class, and might just put up some fierce competition against its AAA competitors if it manages to stand true to its promises. It will be released for PC sometime in the near future. Death Stranding 2. Death Stranding wasn't a horror game by any means, but there were plenty of horror sequences that would snugly fit in the box of such games. Death Stranding 2 is set to build upon these foundations with a story that features both new and returning faces, new mechanics, and a convoluted story. Its release date isn't set in stone, but it will be releasing for PS5 in the future. And with that, we reached the end of the video. Have anything to say? Let us know in the comments below. Also, we upload new videos every single day on Gaming Bolt, so please consider subscribing as it really helps us out. Thanks for watching.